I just recorded this look. This is supposed to be like a Valentine's Day look. I don't know what to say. If you guys want to see how I got this look, just check it out. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. But anyway, so I am using the True Blend concealer to prime my eyelids, and the shade that I'm using is Warm Honey. I then take my beauty blender sponge to just blend that all out, make sure everything is blended, and yep, checking to see if it's good, and that's about it. Then I take my Orange Sorbet BH Cosmetics palette, and I use this shade Truffle, I think that's what it is. And then I take my blender brush and I just go over my eyelid to pretty much just as my crease color, so everything is blended seamlessly. So I'm now taking the Cherry on Top's Sweet Shop BH Cosmetics palette, and I'm going to take that Tarte shade and I'm just going to put that under the orange chocolate drizzle shade. I said it was truffle, but it was chocolate drizzle. And you just put that in. I just go back and forth in windshield swiping motions, and you just kind of go back and forth until I kind of get the desired look that I want. And I'm just going to keep doing that back and forth in the next few clips. So I'm now taking the e.l.f. concealer in the CoverGirl concealer, and that's just going to help me to cut my crease. And I just mix those two shades together, and I just use like a flat brush that I have. I don't even know the name of that flat brush, it's very old, but I just use my I just do a cut crease using those two shades with that brush. And you kind of go really slow with that. Like what I'm doing is I'm kind of like looking down to see where your eyelid crease is at, and that's how I'm able to do a cut crease. If that's like the simple way of learning how to do a cut crease. And I usually go really slow, even though it's sped up, but I'm going really slow. Then I take this I think it's an E16 ColourPop brush. It's like a little blending brush, and I take this shade from the same palette, Sprinkles, and that's like a darker burgundy shade. And I just put that on the outer corners of my lid, and I just pat that in. I should have kind of set the concealer, because as you can see it's a little patchy, like it was too wet, so I should have had excuse me, I should have set it at first, but I mean, it's okay for right now. But you'll see like the difference in like the darkness of it compared to like the outer corner of it, if you can see that. But yeah, and I just keep going in with that. Then I take the flat brush and I use the same palette, and I mix the Sweet and Juicy shade, those two shimmery shades up top. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid. Well, at least until it meets the darker area of the other shadow, which is Sprinkles. And I just tap that in. You don't want to like swipe, because then you'll wipe it off and it won't show up as pigmented as you want. So as like it looks like I'm swiping it, but I'm not. I'm just patting it in, and then I kind of just blend it a little bit towards the like the middle of my lid into that purple, into that dark purple shade. And that's how you keep like the colors looking really pigmented when you want to take pictures, or instead of just swiping it on, because it won't show up as pigmented as you want. So then I'm going to take the Sprinkle shade again, and I'm just going to go back over, because I felt like I lost the color a little bit, and I just wanted to blend in. Like I want the two colors to look seamless, so I just put those two together, and I kind of bring that shade a little bit a little bit over in my crease a little bit, as you can see. But I also take, and then I go back in with this Sweet and Juicy, and I just blend those two on top of each other so it can look like it's perfectly blended instead of just having two shades. Then I take my fluffy brush, my big blending fluffy brush, and then I just blend out the edges and stuff like that so everything can look more like blown out. So then I'm moving to my face, and I'm using the Hydro Milk primer, grip primer. This stuff is really good, and it is very hydrating, and it has like a sticky, like it's almost like a glue kind of like feel. I don't know if anyone ever had it, you know. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but it's really good. Then I take Hourglass. That's my favorite foundation. This stuff is bomb. I have it in the shade Natural Amber, and I just put that on my face. It gives you like a medium coverage, and you can build it up, but I think it's more like a medium coverage. Then I take, what brush is this? The Real Techniques buffing brush. It's not, I need another one because this one got the little hairs coming all out, but I just blend that in. And what I do is, you'll see that like even though I'm swiping all over my face, it looks like that, but I'm actually like pushing it into my skin as I'm going over, and I'm not heavy-handed. Like I'm like really light with this. So you want to push it into the skin, and you want to kind of go over all the little places and stuff like that, and you want to make sure you go like towards your neck and as close as possible to your ears. Most times people do their ears, but because my hair will be down, you won't see that, but I will try to go over my neck and stuff like that. Then I am taking the two CoverGirl concealers. One is in Warm Honey, and the other one is in, I don't know the shade. I don't know the shade, but anyway, I'll probably, if I find it, I'll link it down in the bottom. But I put that under my eyes and over my nose, and this is all just part of my highlight down the bridge of my nose. And then I take that same Beauty Blender sponge that I use for my eyelids, and I just blend that all over, well, under my eyes. And you want to pat that in, and you have to kind of move fast with this, because like I said in the previous clip, that this concealer dries down pretty fast. So yeah. And you'll see me just go over my nose, my lips and stuff like that. And you naturally highlight there because that's where naturally the sunlight or light hits you. So you try to, and I try to keep it in and not too far out, because the more you bring your highlight out, the wider your face looks. So if you want that like drag queen kind of look, you can drag your concealer out more and have it up higher. But if you want to keep your face slimmer, you keep the concealer kind of in the middle of your face. So that's just like a trick if you guys ever want to know if you want your face, while your face is looking huge or thinner, I guess you can say. Like, I'm gonna explain this right. So I'm just blending that in, making sure everything is perfectly blended. Then I'm going to take the black opal. This is in the shade Suede Mocha, and I use that as my contour. This is actually, I think this might be a foundation stick, but I use this as my contour, and I go down the bridge of my nose, my cheeks, and I go under my chin, and I just use that same brush that I blended out with my foundation, and I go under my chin. I do that under my chin because it gives the illusion that you have more of a slimmer face. Then I do, and then I'm then I'm kind of like blending out the concealer around my cheeks. And what I do is like I'm going back and forth, but I'm blending up and I'm patting it in too, because sometimes if you rub your face too much, you can take off the foundation. So then I take this other little BB brush. It came in a set. A lady gave it to me for a Christmas present, but I like it to use for my nose. And I was going back and forth, but it wasn't working as well. So I try to like blend it out, like I'm patting it in, and I go up a little bit towards my brows. And that kind of gives like I don't know, it gives like this illusion that your nose is skinnier than what it is. That's pretty much how you contour your nose. And then I take the same beauty blender sponge, and I go over it to make sure everything is seamless, so you don't see just two lines down my nose. Then I take, what is this? The Maybelline Fit Me powder. This stuff is so good. It's in the shade like medium 20, and I use this particular sponge. I just started using this sponge and it's so good. You use this like powder puff sponge, and I put that under my eyelids. I don't know, it just gives it such a better effect. I don't know, I just like it a lot. Like, you should just try it. Like, the sponge is really good too, but I don't know, I love this powder puff. Like, this stuff is so good. This is a nice little powder puff as well. Like, I never used to use those, but I don't know, it just make your makeup look seamless and perfect. Like, it doesn't put that much powder under your eyes or anything. I don't know, and a little bit goes a long way when I use this little powder puff. So then I'm taking my MAC mineralized foundation in the shade dark, and I just pat that all over my face and just to set everything, and it also gives me color. Then I take, this is old, I have this MAC bronzer forever. I don't even know the name of this anymore, but it's still holding strong. And I just put that over my my cheeks just to make it more pigmented, and pretty much to set that what is this I had before, this black opal, so just make it show up more and pretty much set it. And I put that on my forehead and on my cheeks. And so then I take Sugar Cone. What shade is this? The Delicious shade, using that same brush before that I used for my nose. I love this shade because it's more of a neutral shade than instead of the shade that MAC has. And I put that down my nose, and literally a little bit goes a long way. This stuff is really pigmented. This is a really nice palette, like, and they're very affordable. But I don't know if this is the limited edition palette, but BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palette is so good. So then I take the Cherry on Top palette again, and I take Tarte and Sprinkle, and I put that under my under eyes. The same shades that I use for the top of my eyelids, I put that on the bottom to give out like a smokier look. And I put that under both eyes, and I just mix that together. And I use that same little brush that I used before. I think this is the, yep. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't the E16. It was E19 ColourPop brush. And I just put that under there. And then I take my blending fluffy brush, and I just blow it out a little bit more. I take the same two shades, but you have to be very light-handed because you don't want to put, this stuff is really pigmented, and you don't want to put too much. Especially you don't want it to fall out onto your concealer. Well, not your, well, under your under eyes. So then I'm going to take that other palette, which is the Sugar Cone palette, and then I'm going to take those Cookie Dough and Dipped, and I'll put that in my under eyes. So I must have missed a clip with my mascara and stuff like that, but I already applied my lashes. These lashes is from Amazon. I'm not sure the name of them exactly. Let me see. Let me see. They call it Belisha. I don't know. Some Amazon, but they're pretty. They're really nice lashes. And then I take some setting spray. I think this was from Ruby Kisses I got from the store or something. And then I go back into that same palette, the Sugar Cone palette, and then I just use those same two little colors that I used before, which is the, oh my god, Cookie Dough and Dipped, and I just use that as my highlight. This stuff is so good. And then that brush that I had, it just that brush is old. I don't even know. I had these brushes for so long. I probably got this from Coastal Scents or ColourPop. The name rubbed off and everything, but I use that for the bridge of my nose, and it's also highlight. So then I take this lip liner that I got from the beauty supply store. It's just a brown lip liner, and I just line my lips with that. And I just go back and forth. It's a pretty good lip liner for the most part. I like that I don't have to sharpen it. Then I put on my top lip. I usually like to overline my lips, but this time I really didn't overline it as much. And this is like a nice little light brown. Yeah, this is like a light brown because I have like so many different browns. I've been liking how with this whole brown lip and a nude brown lip and nude lip combo. I think that's so pretty. Even when I don't have like a full beat, I love to do that look like with my lips. So I take, what shade is this? MAC Freckle Tone. Yeah, MAC Freckle Tone, and I just put that on my lip. It's like a nude color. I've had this color for a long time, and it just gives like a nice, like, it looks more like my lip color with just a liner. So that's what I like about it, and it goes with everything, and it's super moisturizing as well, because most lipsticks, your lips be so dry, and my lips were dry before I did this. I should have put some chapstick on, but it was still good. So that is about it. This is like the finished look of everything. I'm brushing my hair mad hard, but I also have a video with me with this hair too in my other previous video. But yep, this is the finished look, guys. This is how I got everything. Yep, bye.